Welcome back to the 5th episode of the Giessen Brothers Podcast. Today we're going to more or less dive into what is required to take action, why we more or less schedule out our day to make taking action easier to accomplish.
So we talked a little bit last time about setting ourselves up for success the day prior, the week prior, whatever. But now, we want to kind of focus on the hardest part, which is, which both of us have struggled with. Again, I probably say this every episode. We're still struggling with these things,
Yes.
but the main goal is constant improvement. That's it. As long as, tomorrow is better than today, then I'm happy. You know what I mean? That's all anybody can strive for. So, but taking action specifically, we have, I probably have 1,000 ideas roll through my head every single day.
Yes.
And of those 1,000 ideas, maybe 50 of them are what I think are great ideas, right? And then of those, I probably take action on 2 or 1, or in the past, it'd be 0. So, what are some of the things that you do to make taking action simpler, or that you overcome to just simply get to work? Because it's such a hard thing for a lot of people to do, myself included, where I will constantly make excuses, or actually that would probably be the biggest thing that we should talk about first is excuses. Because in every aspect, we invest a little bit in real estate, have in the past, and we, with our businesses too, constantly I'll have an idea, and then I will talk myself out of it simply by saying, oh, you know what, the other guy's probably got a better price. Or, I'm not even going to put an offer in on that because somebody's going to offer lower, they're going to win. You know what I mean? So how do you overcome that? What do you do to overcome those interior thoughts?
Yeah, so I think the first thing you have to do, honestly, is look at yourself and take an honest audit and figure out where you, and I'm going to be loose with the words here, where you're lacking in personal development, okay? When the type of person you are, if if you see a donut on the counter, if you have that inner voice going,
I'm definitely going to take action.
I'm going to eat it. Exactly. And if that's the type of person you are, just so I'll correlate it to my field. If you are an individual that gets distracted on your phone, social media, and you're supposed to be on your phone dialing to talk to prospects, well, there's amazing things on your phone that you can limit the time that you're on apps on certain times. So you put in processes, build out, ironically, a schedule goes very hand in hand with not making excuses.
Right.
But you put in little procedures to not allow yourself to slip into the thought process to have the excuse.
Right.
I've set it up to where by default, I can't think that way because I've eliminated putting myself in a situation where I come up with the excuses. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, I do a couple of those things too. Like I'll, in the past, I haven't done it recently because I've been trying to really push this whole social media thing and sharing stuff that nobody wants to see. So I spent a lot of time on social media because I don't know how to edit, right? So I removed the blocks that I had, but I did used to set, I was only allowed 15 minutes a day on each app, or I would delete the apps completely, right? Some people just need that.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's not productive, you should just delete it, which I used to do because I would find myself, because when you own a business, or even if you're an employee for a business, or just on your own time, right? Especially when you own a business, there's nobody there to check on you. You know what I mean? So
it's easy to pull out your phone, see a text message, and all of a sudden click on Instagram by accident because it's just
a habit.
Out of habit.
Yep.
And then 15 minutes down, you look at your time, you're like, why am I watching something about a dog and a cat fight each other while Trump's in the background?
Right. The weirdest.
This makes no sense.
Right. And I mean, I've done that several times where, I'll get a text from a client or something, right, while I'm working on something, and I will pull my phone out, look at the text, and then they'll say, hey, can you send me a picture of this? And I'll say, yep. And I will go to click out of that and go to my photos, and somewhere along the way, I'm in Instagram. I didn't even get to the photo. I'm just scrolling through Instagram.
And then 15 minutes later, you're like, oh, I forgot to do this task. And then the worst thing that you can do, though, is if you know you're in that cycle and you're trying to break it, don't get mad at yourself in the beginning.
Oh, that's a good one.
For breaking it. Because the thing is, you're trying to break habits that you've had for a very long time. Typically, it takes about a month to build a good habit, which means if you try to change 30 things at once and you're like, okay, I'm not going to do the phone, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do it, you're going to lose. So you're stacking it up for yourself to lose.
Right. So it's funny, guys, if you've noticed, there's a recurring theme here. I mean, we've probably talked about personal development a lot, but this has come up multiple times too, where we, I said on one of the episodes previously that, I would tell myself, hey, Monday morning, I'm going to be a monster. I'm going to do all of this stuff. And then, I would fall apart on it. And part of that was because I would say, hey, you're not scrolling social media at all until, this time of day. And then I would find myself doing it. And instead of saying, oh, when I caught myself, instead of going, oh, all right, messed up. All right, let me get back to work. I'm good. I would say, well, I already messed up. You know what I mean? There's no point in stopping now. I might as well just continue screwing my life up and scroll away. So,
yes.
To bring that back around, like that's one thing you can do to set yourself up for success when you're trying to take action on something is put those procedures in place. Set your phone, delete those apps that are wasting your time, or there's...
Let me ask you this. Do you have games on your phone?
0.
Okay, me too. And I won't say that I've never had a game like...
Oh, no, I used to have probably 100 of them.
And that's the thing is like, we could go back all day and we can talk about, when I was 16 and I broke Modern Warfare 2 disc because I played it so much.
You melted it. Like, I've never seen that before, but anyway.
But that's the thing is like, I've had those tendencies.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I am, what I love to say is, I'm the laziest person, but that's the reason why I'm so good at systems.
That is, that we'll have to wait until we get a better camera so we can, do a 2-hour podcast and talk about that, because that is huge.
Yes.
That being lazy makes you successful if you channel it correctly, but.
If you channel it. But no, it just all ties back to when you're starting to build yourself up, personal development, trying to, even if it's as simple as just trying to perform better at your job.
Yep.
To be able to give yourself the leeway and know the only way you get better is to fail forward.
Yeah.
And if you mess up, that just means tomorrow you do a little bit better.
Right.
And not getting upset and go, I messed up. You know what? I'm going to continue to do this and reinforcing the bad habit.
Right. We've been talking a lot about time management and scheduling and time blocking and all that. And I still, I set my schedule up, and then I would say 80% of the time I'm right on the dot, right? The other 20% of the time, I'll mess up, but I don't stop. That's the whole thing. Is if I do mess up and I catch myself and I say, all right, tomorrow I'll fix this. I'll fix this one aspect of whatever I did today, and then again, you're going to get tired, there's going to be adversity, and it's okay to slip up from time to time. That's the important thing that we're trying to say.
Yes.
It's okay to slip up from time to time, as long as you don't give up. That's the thing. You can make a mistake as long as you catch it and say, you know what, I got to get back on track. That's it. So to bring that back around to getting yourself to take action, set up these procedures to make it harder to get distracted is one tip. Another thing that I would say is you have to, I was thinking about this today on the drive to the gym, right? There's a saying, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
Right? So let's take this podcast for an example. The first 2 episodes, and I mean, even now it's, we're getting a lot more comfortable, but the first 2 episodes for sure were like shaky because, there's a camera. I don't know how to talk to it. I'm used to
yes.
talking to people, and now I got to look at this thing. And and then it wasn't edited perfectly. But the main thing was that we did it. And it didn't matter how it turned out. We did it and we posted it, right? Knowing that it's going to get easier moving forward. So that is something that I have not done in the past. I've been really bad at that because I care a lot about what people think about me, too much about what people think about me. And something I envy you for, because
My greatest
this is
trait.
actually, I think, one of the first times you haven't had that nose strip on. And I've gotten comments like, what is on his nose? I'm like, well, he can breathe with that on. He doesn't care what he looks like. He cares about breathing.
Yes.
So, that's one of those things. Like, I care. I've gotten better. Again, I'll say that 100 times throughout the next 37 episodes. I've gotten better. But in the past, I've probably recorded videos of myself for YouTube, for remodeling houses, me doing some work at stuff, and I won't post them because I don't think I look right. Even though it could potentially help somebody, I haven't posted them because I was worried that somebody would judge me, right? So that was one of my issues for overcoming the taking action issue. Was I was worried what people thought about me.
One of my favorite sayings, I want to butcher it, but the greatest successes are on the other side of fear.
Yeah. Fear.
And it's as simple as, I like to operate in the uncomfortable. Because as soon as I'm comfortable, I get into the habits that make me less of a great leader.
Right.
It's the more I challenge myself and the more I stay in that uncomfort zone, the more I grow as an individual. And the more I continue to grow, the more I can help out other people.
Right. So the reason I brought up that saying, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I'm not David Goggins. Let me start there, okay? That man, that is
Who's gonna carry the boats?
That epitome. That's the epitome of getting uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because if you do something that makes you uncomfortable, just one thing every day. If it's, for some people it might be a 5-minute walk after you've worked all day. It might be waking up 5 minutes earlier. Something like that. Taking action on everything else becomes that much easier when you start.
You stack yourself, and my mentor says this. You stack yourself with little wins, so you keep on compiling them. So at the end of the week, you have 100 wins underneath your belt. So it builds your confidence.
Yep.
And as soon as you have the confidence underneath you to believe that you can start to do these things, you start to grow a lot faster.
Right. So, here's a quick little timeline. So going to the gym, right? 4 years ago, I started going to the gym at 3 a.m. And it was actually because one of my buddies, shout out to Shane Short, I'm sure he'll be on here someday, but we decided we wanted to start going to the gym. He lived down here with me for a little bit. He worked with me for a little bit. We decided we wanted to go to the gym, and he wanted to do it in the morning, which I did too. So I said, great, let's go at 4 a.m. Similar to how you and I started going earlier. So we said 4 a.m. and I said, okay. And then I get to the gym one day at 4 a.m. and he's already there. He's been there for 15 minutes. And I said, what the heck? And he goes, well, I woke up early, so I came early. And I said, that's not going to happen again. So then it turned into 3:30 a.m. and that has just been my time for 4 years. Have I gone straight 4 years? Absolutely not. We went for 3 months. COVID hit. We stopped going. And then he moved away after COVID. And then, it was really hard to get back. I would go for 3 months and then stop for 6. Go for 2 months, stop for 2. Go for 4 months, And then finally I'm back on it. I've been at it now for, 6 months or so, which is like the longest stretch I've had in a very long time. And I'm back into the good habits, and it's addicting now. You know what I mean? That's what you have to do it until it's addicting.
Yeah, because it's not even don't get me wrong, going to the gym makes you feel good, but being able just to wake up and know you're going to just take so many wins all day, it makes you excited for the day.
Yeah, so that's where I'm getting to for get action. It took a little bit longer to get here, or to take action. So I started going to the gym, been doing that on and off, whatever. Now I'm in the zone with it. And that little bit of being uncomfortable, because I'm telling you guys, I don't want to wake up that early 90% of the time. Just yesterday, I was telling him at the gym, we get to the gym, and I was like, I almost told you, screw you, I'm not coming today. I almost just slept in. But I knew that I was going to feel better if I went, right? And also, he was going to make fun of me if I didn't go. So, we'll talk about accountability partners another time.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, I want to touch on that just very briefly. Like,
Yep.
I think it was Tuesday.
Yep.
I didn't go to the gym because I fell asleep at midnight-ish. And then what happened today? I felt like I cheated myself.
The other day.
Yep. I went to bed later
last night.
And
showed up
at the gym today.
Exactly. Yep.
I'm not saying I wanted to wake up by any means. It was rough to wake up.
Right.
But I was still able to roll out of bed because I know what the outcome is if I do it.
That's it. You feel better. So, anyway, to get back on track, go to the gym that early. That gave me a little bit of confidence, right? So then the other thing about helping you take action is you do that uncomfortable thing, just something little every day. For me, it's kind of big. Waking up at 2:30.
Everybody's ice plunge now. Like I don't get why you want to throw yourself in some cold.
I really want to do it, but like
I'm on the opposite side. Like for me, 5 years in the Marine Corps, I'm good at throwing. Like I don't need discomfort anymore. I want comfortability when it comes to my body aching. Yeah. I'm not trying to.
Well, anyway, I do want to do that, but I told you. I mean, January 1st, right before January 1st, I told myself, you know what, starting January 1st, you're going to jump in your pool, it's not a polar plunge. It's not cold plunge by any means. It's like 50 degrees in the winter here. The water is, which is cold enough to wake you up, right? So I told myself, you're going to get up for the gym at 2:30, you're going to jump in that pool, and then you're going to go to the gym. Guys, it's February 16th. I still haven't done that once. I have gotten to the point where like I was going to videotape it too to show all of you for no reason. Again, nobody asked me to do that. I just want to post it for no reason, right? I want people to be like, oh my gosh, look at this guy, he's crazy. So I set the camera up out there and everything, and I walk out there and I forgot a towel, right, one day. So I had everything ready. I forgot a towel. I was like, oh, looks like I'll do it tomorrow. And I walked back inside.
Never again.
And then the next day I'd bring the towel out there, set the camera up, but you couldn't see me on the camera because I didn't turn the lights on. And the lights were in a different room in my master bedroom where my wife was sleeping. So I had to go around there and turn on the lights. And I walked outside, the lights weren't on. I go, well, forgot to turn the lights on. Guess I'm not doing it today. So I constantly talk myself out of it, and still, again, to this day, haven't done it. So anyway, something uncomfortable every day. And then that gave me a little bit of confidence. And I told him, I said, hey, I want to start a podcast. Like, we've been talking about it for a while. I want to do it. So we did it. And we did 2 episodes. We shot 2 episodes, and they were awful. And
that's an understatement.
Yeah, they were really bad. So
I mean, the mics didn't work on one of them. Like it was just.
It wasn't good.
It was a lack of just knowledge of what we were doing.
Right. So, but anyway, we shot both of them. So we sort of took action, right? But we didn't post either one of them. So finally on the third one, we said, no matter what, today, this one is getting posted. We don't care what the outcome is. As long as it's posted, that pushes us in the right direction. So that's what we did. We shot it, and I edited it for about 20, actually it took me like 3 hours to do that little bit of intro music. And then I reshot the intro because I'm an idiot. And I talked for 45 minutes. So
the best intro in the world.
Yeah. So, we did all that and we posted it, right? And I was expecting maybe 2 people to say something and nobody watch it, but I think that one somehow, I mean, thanks guys. That was his intro. It's got way more views than my intro, so it kind of hurts a little bit, but
it was the first one.
Yeah, so anyway, that one, and a lot of people said, hey, I really like this. I'm looking forward to it. But we wouldn't have known that if we never did it. You know what I mean? We told ourselves nobody's going to like this. This is going to be a waste of time until we did it. And although it's not, millions of people, if it was,
Oh yeah, it's not.
yeah, 10 people was enough for me to say, wow, I like this. And now I'm addicted to it. And so it becomes easier to take action again. It becomes easier the more uncomfortable you get. And that's on any aspect. If you've got a plan for your business, if you've got a plan that you want to do personally, take a small step towards it and watch it get easier. And don't worry about what other people think. I'm still fighting that. I'm getting better. Again, I'll say that a million times. But it's something that comes with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I agree with that to the fullest. And I will say this. For the individuals out there who are the high-strung individuals that are, the stressors, anxiety, just overall, just overthinking everything that you're doing. It is viable to go find someone who is doing what you're doing and ask for help. Mm-hmm. Because again, getting uncomfortable is what's going to get you to move forward.
That's great. Yeah, to ask for help when you need it. You probably are thinking about doing that. Man, I want to learn from this guy, and you're not asking because you're thinking he's going to say or she's going to say, I don't have time for you. You know what I mean? I've done that, and then you find out. Well, you don't know until you ask. But I know that there's the saying, the worst that can happen is they say no. But realistically, what happens if they say no? Absolutely nothing.
No, that's what shocks me. And when people think so much about the other person's thought, 9 times out of 10, it's a pre-notion. It's not even what that person's thinking. It's just your worst fear coming into your head.
Yeah. And it's funny because last time we talked about saying no. We said you need to start saying no, or 2 times ago, whatever it was, whatever episode, we talked about the importance of saying no to get your time back. So some people will say no, you'll get no's, but it doesn't mean that it's a no forever. You know what I mean? You just may have to wait a little bit. Just like we were talking
ready
about.
for this, prove that you're developing yourself to where it's worth that individual's time to invest their time. Because at the end of the day, if you provide value, value will be given back to you.
Exactly. And that is another good one, because if you have somebody else in your corner or who's already done it, and you bounce those ideas that you have that you're not taking action on, it becomes easier to take action as well, because chances are they'll tell you, yeah, do it. That's what you need to do, or change this a little bit.
Yeah, I did it X, Y, and Z, and this is what sped it up for me. Here's my lessons learned.
Yeah.
Use it as you want.
Yeah, and then again, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish becomes easier to start. And I had one individual reach out. I'm not going to mention names yet because it's somebody that I would like to have on this podcast, who said, seeing you guys do this podcast kind of reignited the flame. I think I want to do one. And of course, my first words back to him were, you need to do it. Like, you've got a lot of good information. A lot of people would learn something from you and would listen to you a lot because he's a type of person that's got the results to prove it, right? Which is, he's in the fitness space. So anyway, I told him to do it, and I'm here to help. I don't mind doing phone calls or helping out friends like that. And again, some people might say no, but
so I want to say this this part. Asking someone for advice and asking someone for a 30-minute conversation is a lot different than expecting someone to spend an hour with you every single day.
And do the work for you. Yeah. Some of that stuff you pay for. You know what I mean?
I just want to be very clear out there to where if you are one of those individuals that need to go find a mentor, the thing is this. Yes, we all want to have Tony, you see Tony Roberts. I'm just trying to use a big name here.
Tony Robbins, yeah.
Yeah, like you see him and you're like, okay, I want to be that type of motivate, that level of initiative, that level of just grind towards the goal.
Yep.
If you're not even a third of that yet, maybe find a mentor that's a third of that and shoot there first.
Right.
To where it's going to get you up to the level to where you either have elevated yourself to provide enough value, or you finally made enough money because you've elevated yourself to be able to pay for a mentor like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not always you have to go, oh, I want to be realistic. Hey, I need to go talk to Grant Cardone. He can be my only one. Like I have to spend money to talk to him. There's other people doing it.
Exactly.
You don't have to shoot for the top.
Well, make that your end game for sure. Make that your end goal.
But if you don't even know what an FHA loan is, and you're thinking you're going to be doing multifamily investment properties,
hundreds of millions of dollars.
Realistic, like you have to have reality sit in and go, I need to speak to someone who is doing 100,000 because I can't get $1 million if I don't get 100,000 first.
Or at least understand how to get 100,000 first.
Exactly.
Because you can, I mean, I've seen people.
Oh, yeah.
But again,
that's with the right mentorship and the right systems in place.
And the right community. You know what I mean? Surround yourself, that's another topic, but surround yourself with people who are doing better than you at what you want to accomplish, and watch things start to happen. So,
the top 5 friends, top 6 friends that you hang out with is most definitely a reflection of who you are and where it will go.
Let's do that next episode, because I have a lot to say about that. But anyway, I forgot I had one more point I wanted to make, but it's not. I guess it's not that important. So anyway, we'll kind of try and wrap this up. This way we don't get cut off again. The last couple times we've gotten cut off, and I apologize. I think 2 episodes ago, on episode it'll be 3. I literally just shut it off. Like, I was like, all right, bye, and clicked it. Anyway, the main point of today is to get you guys, hopefully, to take action on something. Again, start with getting uncomfortable. Do something every day, something small every day that makes you uncomfortable, because it makes it easier to take action on anything else. Do not think about or don't care about what other people are thinking of you. And which is a hard thing to overcome. I'm still working on it. But that's I built up all these negative thoughts in my head about these podcasts and videos of myself. If I post them, everybody's going to ridicule me, which you'd be surprised. The first videos you post, only your family and friends are watching. It's nothing but positive feedback. Like, nobody is on there saying, wow, you're an idiot, you're stupid. They might be thinking it, but nobody says it, right? And until you get, further on and you get a ton of people following you and watching your content, it's I ended up relating all this to posting videos of yourself. But anyway, get those negative thoughts out of your head, because that held me back for a very long time. 3 or 4 years I've been talking about posting videos or doing a podcast of some sort, and I haven't done it. Finally, I'm doing it, and I'm loving every second of it. When you become addicted to something, that makes it even easier to take action. You know what I mean? And if you're stuck in a rut somewhere, you need to find something.
But that right there, you feared it for 3 years, and then all of a sudden you started doing it, and you just said now you're addicted to it.
Yeah.
Like, that should speak volumes. And I'm not saying that's going to be the case for everything.
No. But you don't know until you try it. Don't know until you take action. So, hopefully, after listening to this one of you, at least, if we help one person, that's my only goal. I don't care. I don't care if the ones of you that are watching this, as long as one of those 10 people that are watching this gets something out of this and takes action, then we've accomplished my goal. So, I guess we'll close it out. You got any last?
No, we'll see you on the next episode, and dive in then.
Right, sounds good. Thanks, everyone.